already know you, my name is Kris, and I'm excited to bring you cardio core on tape. We'll start with our Virasana, our hero's pose. And so we'll keep those knees together, moving those calves out of the way, walking those heels towards either hip with that nice long spine. If Virasana is a challenge for you, you can always have a prop underneath, maybe a block. If you don't have a block, maybe something hard, like a hardcover book, or maybe binding together a few hardcover books here with this nice long spine, just really trying to really think about that inner spiral, those inner thighs. As we move towards our arm balances, we'll be thinking of these. And you can stay here for your nice meditative pose, just breathing into this. Or if you have any other version, you can feel free to take that. So if we're sitting on any prop, we'll stay here with that nice long spine. Or maybe you'll start to walk back to those elbows, lifting that heart up to the sky. Or maybe you'll even walk those elbows out, coming all the way down to the floor. Maybe even bringing those arms overhead, catching either elbow. And just breathing here, really concentrating on those inner spiral, those inner thighs, trying to keep those knees down. And setting a nice intention for our practice today. And if you're all the way to the floor, maybe taking the opposite hand clasp with either elbow to be nice and even. And then if you have that clasp, you can slowly release those arms, coming up to those elbows, and then all the way up. Slowly we'll start to move forward into that tabletop variation, bringing one leg back, just releasing the quad, letting all that blood run through, cleansing our body, and then that second toe back. All right, well, I don't know about you, but I've eaten all my quarantine food, so I need to work off my core. So let's roll down our spine, belly button to the spine. We'll find a nice core awakening here to start. And so belly button to spine, we'll just take our hands to our quads, really flexing those toes back towards us. And we want to find some resistance, quads into hands, hands into quads, belly button to spine. Almost imagining if I were to come up behind your feet and press your feet in, making sure that that resistance of those hands won't allow your knees to move back. You should find a lot of engagement here. Just breathing here for a few more breaths. And slowly we can release, bringing those knees to the chest, giving ourselves a little sacral massage. And then bringing those toes up to the sky, hands to either hip. We will mindfully start to bring those right toes down, 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 down to a hover. Maybe finding that action of that left leg almost moving towards the right, finding all that energy in the midline, almost like they were going to cross. And then releasing that energy and mindfully bringing those right toes up, 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 and up. And then those left toes slowly start to come down, 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 down to a hover. Again, finding all that engagement, almost feeling like those right thighs are crossing over those left. All that energy to the midline. And we can release and bring those left toes up, 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 and up. And we can either keep the hands anchored to the side Or if you need a little extra, you can lean those hands under those hips. Belly button to spine. We'll drop those toes about 2 inches. And then maybe 2 more inches. We can always hold those toes wherever you start to feel that nice resistance, or maybe drop down 2 more inches. And maybe 2 more inches. Maybe we're about halfway there. We can hang out here if that's enough for you. Or maybe 2 more inches. Maybe 2 more inches. Maybe we feel that nice energy, that shimmy shake. Maybe 2 more inches. And then maybe we hover, 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 and hover those legs. And then release nice and long. Oh, giving yourselves a little break. So let's take a little core exercise I stole from Pedro. Don't tell him. We will point those right toes, that nice hover. Maybe that left leg up and over. Hands behind the head, belly button to spine. And let's lift and lower that right leg forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we'll bring those toes together and scissor them out. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And release. Oh, don't worry. We only did one side. We have a whole second side to do together. And so we can bring those hands behind the head, roll up the spine, belly button to that spine. Left toes out to that nice even position. Right leg up and over. And let's lift and lower that left leg forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we'll scissor those legs out. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And release. Nice and long. And slowly we'll plant into those feet, rolling to one side, into that nice tabletop position. We'll get ready for some of our arm balances while we continue to work that core. We can stay in that nice tabletop position and stay here, or maybe we start to move those knees up. And we can move those knees up wherever we would feel comfortable. Maybe the most amplified position is right between those wrists. We'll come to the tops of those feet, belly button to spine, and maybe we exhale those knees up, and inhale down, and up, and inhale down. Maybe we got 5 on us, and inhale down, 4, inhale down, 5, inhale down. How about one more just for good luck? And inhale down. And we can sit back on those heels and just roll around those wrists. All right, we'll just do a little Pilates arm work before we continue those legs. And so we'll return to that nice tabletop position. We'll start just with a nice shoulder opener to begin that practice. Inhaling that right arm up to the sky and exhaling, threading that arm all the way through to that left side. And it can go wherever you'd like it to be. It could be planted out in front of that face. Maybe walking it overhead. Or maybe it comes up and over, finding that thigh on that right side. And if we have that bind, we can release that hand, planting it down to the ground, and inhaling up. And then maybe taking that second side, planting that right hand to the floor, lifting that left hand up to the sky, and let's thread it all the way through. Either keeping that right hand planted in front of our face, or we can always walk those fingers overhead, or maybe taking those fingers up and over into that nice bind. And we can slowly release. All right, we can't hang out here for too long. We got some work to do today. And so we'll plant that right hand to the sky. I'm sorry, left hand down to the floor, right hand up to the sky. And let's thread through with no touching. Just a little Pilates arm work, trying to hover that right arm up, really planting into that left arm, maybe testing that bicep. And we'll inhale up. And exhale, thread through. And inhale up. And exhale, thread through. And let's release. Coming through that nice table position, second side. Inhaling that left arm up. And exhale, let's thread it through for that nice hover, no touch. Really engaging that bicep. Maybe this is the big bicep on this side. Making sure it's nice and strong. Inhaling that arm up. And exhale, thread through, no touch. And inhale up. And exhale through, no touch. And slowly releasing. Maybe giving those hips a little shimmy shake. Maybe rolling around those wrists just to release for a little bit. We'll build on here. Maybe bringing those left toes back. Really planting into that left arm. We'll inhale that right arm up to the sky. And let's thread through, no touch. And inhale up. And exhale, no touch. And inhale up. And exhale, no touch. And slowly we can release, planting that hand, bringing that left knee in. And getting ready for that second side. Maybe that right leg comes back. That left arm comes up. And thread through, no touch. Finding that nice stability here before we inhale up. And exhale, no touch. And inhale up. And exhale, thread through, no touch. And slowly we can release. Again, you can give yourself that shimmy shake or that little wrist relief. Coming back to the full expression of the posture, maybe bringing those left toes back. Maybe that left heel up about hip height. Eye gaze a little bit ahead of you. This time we'll just bring that right arm over to the T. And maybe we'll start to lift that left leg up as we hover through. No touch. Really using that arm stability, that bicep, as well as our core here. Inhaling up to that T. And exhale, no touch. And inhale through that T. And exhale, no touch. It's okay if you roll over. That happens every so often. We'll just bring you back up. And have you start again in that tabletop pose. All right, second side. Right toes back. Maybe up about hips distance. Left arm out to the side. Engaging that core. And no touch. Finding that nice stability in that right hand. Those fingers open nice and wide. Inhaling up to that T. And exhale, no touch. And inhaling to that T. And exhale, no touch. And inhaling up to that T and releasing. Giving ourselves that nice little shimmy shake. Maybe rolling around those wrists. All right, I know we got some things to do. So since most of us are at home, we don't necessarily have yogi blankets, but we might have beach towels or we might have other blankets that we can use at our disposal. And so let's do our little yogi sliders. And so for those of you who know, we'll take that mat and we'll fold it up halfway. And then into a quarter. And we can bring that blanket or that beach towel out behind us. Coming into that nice Tadasana here. And we can inhale those arms up. And exhale, forward fold. And inhale, flat spine. Plant those hands to the mat. Exhale, back to that plank. Chaturanga. Inhaling, heart opener. And exhale, down dog. Find that nice down dog here, really engaging that lower core as we slide those toes up to the wrists. Inhale, up halfway. Exhale, release. Inhale those arms up. And exhale, heart center. Let's take a few more. Inhaling up. And exhale, release. And inhale, flat spine. Planting those hands, coming back. And chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing and pause. Really engage that lower core before you slide those toes up to the wrists. Inhale, flat spine. Exhale, release. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, heart center. I don't want to micromanage you. Let's take 2 more on your own. Inhale, up. And once you have completed your 2 on your own breath, we'll mindfully return to a Tadasana, just allowing the breath to return to our body before we move towards our traditional practice. This is cardio core, not lazy yoga session, so we'll move that blanket out to the side and unroll that mat. And let's move through a traditional sun salutation. Inhaling up, and exhale, release. And inhale, flat spine. Let's step, jump, float. Meeting in our own breath in that downward facing dog. Cardio core typically moves a little bit quicker. Feel free to move at your own pace, listening to your body. Taking this first down dog, it's our first traditional down dog of this practice, so feel free to walk that dog, do anything you need to do to get your body ready. And then we'll inhale those right toes up to the sky. Let's bend that knee, keeping the knee to the floor, heel to the sky. We can stay here, or starting to lift that knee up, really getting into our hamstrings, getting some nice stretch here before we open that hip. And then right knee, right elbow. And inhale back. And to the forehead. And inhale back. To the left. And inhale back. To the right. Maybe that nice arm balance. And inhale back. And to the left. And inhale back. To the left. And extending that leg to that nice fallen angel. We can either hang out here, or that top hand can come behind that head, maybe plugging in that hip bone, hovering that leg, or maybe 3 fallen angel crunches. Returning to that nice fallen angel, planting that hand, bringing that knee to the chest, back to 3-legged, and down dog. And then left toes up to the sky. Let's bend that knee to the floor, heel to the sky. Really planting deeply into that right heel, lifting that left knee up a little higher. Just getting into that hamstring here. And then we can open that hip. And then the left knee, left elbow. And inhale back. And to the forehead. And inhale back. And to the right. And inhale back. Maybe to the left with that nice arm balance. And inhale back. To the forehead. And inhale back. And to the right. Extending that leg nice and long to that fallen angel. Or maybe that fallen Kris. Either hanging out here, taking that top hand behind the head, maybe hovering that extended leg, or maybe 3 fallen angel crunches. Returning to that fallen angel, planting that hand, bringing the knee to the chest, extending it back, down dog, and to that traditional down dog. All right, let's step, jump, float, top of our mats. And inhale, flat spine. Exhale, release. We'll inhale those arms up. And exhale, Tadasana. And let's take that chair pose. Maybe hands to heart, engaging that core. Maybe lifting those heels. We can drop those heels, bringing that left elbow to that right knee. A little twist here, either staying here or that left heel to the bum, maybe extending it all the way back, twisted lunge. And then we'll come up to that high lunge. And let's take those 8 high lunge dips for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and hold. Let's take those hands heart center, engaging that core, maybe walking that back foot up, or all the way into that warrior 3. Hips nice and even, heart nice and high. Either staying here or taking these squats, chambering that left knee behind the right, inhaling up, and chamber, inhale up, chamber, inhale up, maybe coming all the way down to that nice twisted position, maybe hooking that elbow, coming into that nice deep little twist. We can hang out here, or if side crows in your practice, you can plant those hands in front, maybe coming onto those triceps and taking your side crow variation. And wherever we are, after we get to test that side crow, we'll return to that nice seated twist. And then we'll take that counter pose, really planting into those hands, planting into those feet, and walking up to the back of the mat. Second side. We can take that chair pose. Maybe hands towards heart, engaging that core. Feel free to test that balance. We can drop those heels, coming to that nice twist. Either staying here or planting into that left foot, maybe the right heel to the bum, extending all the way back into that nice twisted lunge. And then inhaling those arms up, high lunge. Let's take those knee dips here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and hold. Maybe those hands to the heart, you can walk that back leg up, or all the way floating up to that warrior 3. Hips nice and even, heart nice and high. Either hanging out here, or challenge yourself, chambering that right knee behind the left, inhaling up, and exhale down, inhale up, exhale, inhale, and then dropping down to that nice seated twist. Again, either hanging out here, or if it's in your practice, you can plant those hands, maybe testing that side crow on this second side. Taking a few more moments to play as the rest of us come towards our seated twist. And then we can take that nice counter position, saying hello to Mr. Plant. And then planting our hands, planting in our feet, and coming to the top of our mat. All right, it's cardio core, so we better get some cardio going, right? And so let's inhale those arms up. And exhale, release. Inhale, flat spine. Let's step, jump, float. Moving through that vinyasa. meeting at our own time in that downward facing dog. We can inhale those right toes up to the sky and all the way through to that high lunge. And we can slowly start to float that left knee up into our dancing Shiva. Find this nice twist here. And we're just going to test this twist. I'll come to the back of the mat so you can actually see me. And then we're going to find some movement with breath. So inhaling back, exhale Shiva. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Back to that high lunge. We'll all move through a goddess pose and into the high lunge. We're going to try it once on the second side, and then we're going to move through our cardio. And so, planting into that left foot, right knee up. Nice dancing Shiva. Finding that nice twist. And then starting to find some movement with breath. High lunge, Shiva. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. High lunge, goddess, high lunge. Do you got that? I know that you do. So we're going to start with 3 to each side and move through that sequence. Ready? And Shiva, high lunge. Shiva, high lunge. Shiva, high lunge. Goddess, to the back. Shiva, high lunge. Shiva, high lunge. Shiva, high lunge. Goddess, to the front. 3, lunge. 2, lunge. 1, lunge. Goddess, to the back. 3, lunge. Shiva, lunge. Shiva, lunge. Goddess. Now for 2. 2, lunge. 1, lunge. Goddess, to the back. 2, Shiva, back. Goddess, high lunge. 2 again. 2, back. 2, back. Goddess, high lunge. 2, back. 2, back. Goddess. Now for 1 to each side. Shiva, high lunge. Goddess, to the back. Shiva, high lunge. Goddess, to the front. Shiva, back. Goddess, to the back. Shiva, high lunge. Goddess, to the front. And let's windmill those arms. Either moving through vinyasa, directly to down dog, and our own time, we'll all take a child's pose, just to release. And I'll straighten myself out on my mat. Maybe lifting the eye gaze up, walking those hands to the right, finding that left bum to that left heel, finding that nice left side body extension. And then slowly walking our hands through center to the left side, maybe finding that nice right side body extension. And then slowly walking through center into that traditional child's pose. You can always take that tricep stretch, bringing those hands into prayer towards the nape of the neck, bending into those elbows. Whatever would feel best for your body. And then slowly we'll all start to release, planting those hands, tucking those toes, coming back to that downward facing dog. Let's inhale forward to that plank. Holding that nice plank, eye gaze just a little ahead of you, belly button to spine. Holding this maybe for about 30 seconds. Just testing that core strength, testing that arm strength, giving us a little smile. And down dog. And then forward to plank. Maybe that right heel comes up about hip height. And we can drop that right heel. Maybe that left heel, hip hip. Yeah, we can drop that left heel. Down dog. And let's step jump low, top of our mats. And inhale, flat spine. And exhale, release. And we'll bend those knees. Chair pose. Just a little shoulder release, exhaling those arms back. And inhale up. And exhale back. And inhale up. And exhale back. And inhale up. And let's forward fold. Inhale up, flat spine. And exhale through that vinyasa. Just getting into that core just a little bit more. Maybe inhaling forward into that plank, walking those feet about mat's distance, rolling to the right side of both our feet. Maybe tenting those left fingers, maybe lifting that right heel, keeping the heart and those hips to the floor, maybe testing the balance on the left, saying hola to our obliques. And then we can release back through center, coming to the left side of both our feet, maybe tenting those right fingers, maybe lifting that left heel, maybe lifting that right arm, keeping all our body centered to the floor, and release, and down dog. And we'll step jump low, top of our mats, and inhale, flat spine, and exhale, release. Let's bend those knees, chair pose, giving those arms a little release. Maybe a little bit more chair, maybe a little bit more chair. Let's come into that boat pose. Start to work that core a little bit. So maybe coming to that low boat, giving ourselves that little flutter. People know I'm a swimmer. Bringing those feet together, inhaling up. Maybe hands to heart. Maybe left elbow, right knee. And inhale through center. Maybe right elbow, left knee. And inhale through center. And low boat. Maybe one leg over the other. And into that high boat. Maybe left elbow, right knee. Maybe hovering that left leg. Maybe coming through center. Right elbow, left knee. Maybe hovering that right leg. And inhale through center. Let's take those shins and come down to the mat. Just giving our body a little release. All right. So now we will keep those knees into the chest, rolling up with those shoulder blades, eye gaze to those knees, pretending like there's an arch between that chin and the chest, keeping that head nice and stable, belly button to spine. We'll keep that right knee in, left leg nice and long, and we'll switch, and switch, and switch, and switch, taking our Pilates legs, allowing all that movement to come from the core. We're not yanking back those legs. We want all that energy, all that movement to come from our midline, and switch, and switch, and switch, and switch, keeping the head nice and stable. If we can't, we'll just bring that head to the floor to protect that head and neck. And we'll continue for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll keep that knee in. Maybe that leg comes nice and long, keeping that head nice and stable. And we'll switch, and switch, and switch, and switch. Again, not yanking those legs back, finding all that movement coming from that midline. Maybe inhaling to one side, exhaling to the second. 4, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And extending those arms and legs nice and long, giving our body a nice little release. You can always walk those feet mat's distance, bending those knees, and take those windshield wipers, just release that lower back, if we might like that. Just listening to our body here. All right. And then straightening those knees, hugging them in. Again, bringing that head up, almost like there's an orange between that chin and the chest, keeping that head nice and stable. If we can't, we'll just leave that head to the floor. But if we have that head up, we'll keep that in one position, belly button to spine. We'll extend those arms and those legs, and we'll exhale those knees in. And inhale, and exhale. Again, don't let that head bounce. We want to protect that head and the neck. Inhale and expand. Exhale and contract. Inhale and expand. Exhale and contract. For 3, 2, 1. Bring those knees into the chest, or release that spine. Give ourselves a little hug. Oh, maybe that's what we want for our day today. Oh, the plant's going to make this next one interesting. So I'll move down a little bit. You can always walk those hands to the hips or bring them right underneath if you like that stability. We will start with those knees bent, and we'll just practice taking those knees side to side. Again, finding that nice stability, planting those hands down to the floor or underneath those hips. And if this starts to feel easy for us, maybe we start to straighten those toes and find just a little hover from right to left. Maybe inhaling up and exhaling to the side. Inhale up and exhale to the side. Inhale up and exhale to the side. Maybe 2 more to each side to the right. And inhale up to the left. And inhale up. Exhale to the right. And inhale up. And to the left. And inhale up. And let's bring those knees to the chest. Giving ourselves a nice little rock here. And I'm just going to move back so I don't come off my mat again. After warning. And we can start to take those hands underneath those thighs, rocking those legs up and down, giving ourselves a nice spinal massage. And maybe next time we rock all the way up into that chair pose. And inhale up, and exhale, heart center. All right, inhale up, and exhale, release to the floor, and inhale, flat spine. Let's step, jump, float, all the way through our vinyasa. Maybe a little bit more arm work, inhaling forward to that plank, and we'll come down right forearm, left forearm, right palm, left palm, left forearm, right forearm, left palm, right palm, right forearm, left forearm, and hold. We have our dolphin plank, belly button to spine. Eye gaze between those thumbs, either staying here or maybe left heel hip height. And we can drop that left foot, maybe right heel hip height. We can drop that right heel, left palm, right palm, right palm, left palm, hold. Maybe we rock our hips, right to left. Just getting into those obliques, little oblique action. Summer's coming. We're leaving our house sometime soon. Who wants to look nice and tight in those swimsuits? Maybe inhaling to one side, exhaling to the second. One more to each side. And left palm, right palm, down dog. And we'll bring those right toes up to the sky, all the way through to a low lunge. We'll slowly walk those toes to the right side into that lizard pose, just getting into our hips here. We can always plant those arms to the floor, those fingers to the floor, or maybe we bring our forearms to a block, those books, maybe to the floor. Just getting into this right hip here. And again, the only energy we want is that nice opening in that right hip. And so we'll shake our head yes and no. Release any tension from that head and neck. We don't need anything there. And then mindfully we'll come up to the palms of those hands, dropping to that back knee if we're not already there. Left finger's a little off the mat, right hand to that right knee. Inhaling up that heart, keeping those hips nice and forward, keeping those hips nice and open. Only if we can keep those hips nice and open, maybe bending into that back knee, finding that nice little quad stretch. We can stay here in this little monkey variation, and only if those hips can stay open and that heart's nice and high, maybe you amplify, bringing that left forearm to the floor. You listen to your body. It's whatever you can do. Don't feel competition. Just listen. And then mindfully we'll release those back toes, bringing those hands through center, walking that right foot back towards midline, maybe tucking into those back toes. We'll plant those hands, come back to the plank. Left hand to the center of the mat. Maybe we take that Vashisthasana, that side plank. Those feet can be in front of one another. We can modify with that bottom knee down, maybe stacking those legs. Maybe that top leg up. Maybe we come into tree. Maybe we take those splits. Or maybe with that top leg up, top hand behind the head, and maybe we take some Vashisthasana oblique work. Maybe trying for 5 here. And then we'll all return back to the traditional plank and down dog. Oh, and now I need to figure out what we just did. And then left toes up to the sky, and all the way through to that nice low lunge. And slowly walking those left toes to the left side mat. You're a little scared, weren't you? We can stay here with that back knee up, or maybe it comes down if that feels better for our body. Planting into those hands. And again, we can either stay here, bringing those forearms to any prop, or maybe those forearms come to the floor. Again, the only stretch you want to feel, the only energy is in those left hips. And so we can shake that head yes and no, releasing any tensions for that head and neck. That head doesn't even need to be up, it can come down. Just breathing into this. I can't hear your breath, so I hope you're breathing. And if that back knee's not already down, we'll bring it down. Planting those hands, walking those right fingers a little off the mat. Left hand to that left knee, opening up our heart. We can stay here, or maybe bending into that back knee, catching those toes, maybe bringing those toes to those hips, not losing that hip opener or that heart opener. And again, we can either stay here, or if you wish to, you can always bring that right forearm down, only if that heart can stay up nice and high. And our little monkey variation. Don't you feel like a little monkey now? Then we'll just breathe wherever we are. And we'll slowly release those toes, recentering that left foot. Bring our hands to either side, tucking those toes, and coming back towards our plank pose. Maybe bringing that right hand to the center of our mat in our Vashisthasana variation, whatever we took on the first side, on the second side, maybe one foot in front of the other, stacking, leg up, tree, catching those toes to that split, or maybe hand behind the head and taking 5 oblique crunches in our Vashisthasana. And then once we completed our practice coming through to plank, And down dog. And oh my gosh, where has the time gone? Oh, it always goes so quick when you're having fun. So let's bring those right toes up to the sky, bending that knee, opening that hip. Either staying there, coming to that extreme side stretch, left forearm to the floor, right hand a little off the mat. Just an option, not a requirement. And then we'll bring those toes up and all the way through to a pigeon pose. This is where some props could be useful. Maybe tucking a blanket or a block or a book underneath that hip. We'll just take this pigeon just to open up the body, trying to keep those hips nice and even before we move into our arm balance pose. So we'll just rest here in the sleepy pigeon, making sure that back leg is out nice and straight from that left hip. Allowing the breath to return to the body. Maybe slowly starting to walk up those hands, lifting that heart. We can stay here, or maybe we start to bend that back knee, maybe catch those toes. It's been a little while for me, so I don't know I'm going into that full mermaid pose. You can always bring those toes to the eye of the elbow, maybe testing your balance, or maybe coming into that nice bind with those hands catching, pushing that head into your forearm. And then slowly we'll release and come back to that down dog. Oh, and that always unstraightens my mat. I apologize. There's just nothing straight about me today. And then we can lift those left toes up to the sky, bend that knee, open that hip. Either staying here or coming to that extreme side stretch. Right forearm to the floor, left fingers a little off the mat. And then returning to that three-legged dog, and all the way through to that pigeon on the second side, making sure that right leg's nice and long outside of that right hip before we slowly fold forward to that sleepy pigeon. Trying to keep those hips nice and even. We can always use a prop underneath that bum, that hip. And slowly walking up, heart nice and high, maybe bending into that knee, maybe catching those toes, maybe walking those toes into the crook of the elbow. And you can test your balance however you might want to here. Maybe that's keeping that hand centered on the floor. Maybe you just bring your hand behind your head as you start to move, or even bring that arm over before you start to stretch back into that full mermaid. So there's always places we can go in our yoga practice. And slowly releasing, and down dog. And I'll bring my knees to the floor, sit on my bum. So we will take, like we traditionally do in cardio core, one floor balance. We will not have the time and the spacing for our wall balances. And so after we do our floor balance, I'm going to ask anyone who comes to my Power Yoga or Cardio Core class to press pause in this video and to clear out some wall space to test your imbalances so you can continue to practice it while you're at home so we don't lose it while you're away. But for all of us right now, our floor balance, we'll take our flying pigeon. And so flying pigeon, if you don't already know it, we've started through some of those postures. And so maybe we start to bend those knees like we're moving into that chair pose. And there's many places we can go here. Maybe we come down to that full chair. Maybe we cross that that left foot over the right, flexing both feet, and just testing this, finding a nice little hip opener here. And this might be fine enough for us. For those of us who want to test our hip and our hamstring, we can bring our fingers to the floor or a block and just open up our hip and our hamstring here in this nice figure 4 variation, right? Or maybe we start to come down to that toe stand, wrapping those toes around the tricep. And we can stay here. Or maybe we start to egg in that back heel, eye gaze a little forward. Maybe we extend that leg nice and long behind us for that flying pigeon. And so we'll have a few breaths here, wherever you'd like to go. Again, that's staying in the regular chair, the hip opener chair, finding that nice hamstring opener to any level of that toe stand or fully releasing back. I'll give you a few more breaths. You can always pause if you wish to play a little bit more. And then we'll all slowly stay in this hip opener as we extend this leg up. Slowly engaging that core, bringing those hands up to the heart. And we can release, maybe shaking those legs out. Releasing all that energy. All right. Don't worry. There's always fun on the second side. And so again, we can just open up those knees. Finding that nice fluidity with those knees. Maybe crossing right foot over left. I like to really bring that foot up my leg for that nice stability. Maybe hands to heart. Just hanging out here with this nice hip opener. Or again, we can always bring those hands to the block or the floor for that little hamstring stretch with the hip opener. Or we can start to come towards that toe stand. Maybe planting those hands on the floor. Maybe bringing those right toes around the left tricep. Coming to that nice egg. Or extending that leg all the way back. This is always my harder side. Eye gaze just a little ahead of you on the floor. I'll let you pause and play here for a little bit. Feel free to press pause in the video. But for the rest of us, we'll come to that toe stand. We'll start to plant that foot. And we'll slowly start to roll up and release. All right. Here in the video, I would like my traditional yoga classes to pause and take your wall balances. For the rest of us, we'll come towards our resting poses. In that nice Dandasana, legs out nice and long. Those feet can be out nice and flexed. Hands to either side, crown of the head over shoulders, shoulders over hips, with that nice long spine. If you wish to test that core, you can lift those hands, but only if you can maintain that nice long spine. And we'll inhale those arms up, and exhale, release to that nice forward fold. Maybe inhaling up halfway, and exhale, release. And we can inhale up, and exhale, release. And now our biggest one, inhale up. Really engage that core as we exhale towards the deepest expression of our posture. Maybe forehead towards knees. And inhale up, flat spine. And slowly exhaling. We'll bring that right leg out to a diagonal, bottom of the left foot to that right inner thigh. Straightening the torso over that long extended leg, maybe planting that right hand down for that stability. Inhaling that left arm up, And exhale, release, maybe grabbing the nice edge of that leg. And into that Janu Shirshasana, head to knee pose. Maybe that's head towards knee. It's okay wherever we are. We can always use props to make those arms a little bit longer. We'll just allow that breath to return to our body, finding those nice inhales, settling down deeper in those exhales. And maybe one more inhale. And exhale. And we'll inhale up halfway. Exhale, slowly releasing. Bring that left hand behind the bum. Inhaling up that heart. And exhale, release. Coming towards that second side. Bringing that right foot into the left. Straightening that torso nice and long over that extended leg. Inhaling up that right arm. And exhaling, releasing to that Janu Shirshasana. Second side. Just allowing the breath to deeply come into the body. We'll take just another breath or two here. And inhale up halfway. Exhale, slowly releasing. Bring that right arm all the way behind, planting that hand, lifting those hips and that heart up to the sky. Stargazer. And exhaling, release. Bring those hands up shoulders distance and slowly rolling down 1 vertebra by vertebra to complete your practice. Finding that nice long extension. I'll bring those knees into the chest, giving yourselves that nice little hug. From this point in your practice, I invite you to take any other postures or poses that would feel good for your practice. Maybe that's a figure 4, a bridge, a wheel, legs up the wall, shoulder stand. Mindfully, once you've completed your practice, we'll all meet in that final Shavasana. Releasing down deeply into the mat. Taking whatever time you need in your Shavasana, making sure it's nice and satisfying for you. On your own breath, we'll slowly start to wiggle fingers and toes, rolling around ankles and wrists. If it would feel good for your practice, you can extend those arms and legs nice and long into a nice stretch. We'll slowly start to bend those knees, plant those feet, rolling to one side into a comfortable fetal position. Just allowing the breath to return to the back, to breathe deeply into your kidneys here. And then slowly we'll roll up towards a comfortable seat. Maybe with that head and that eye gaze heavy. Hands towards Anjali Mudra, heart center. Thank you very much for allowing me to guide you in your practice today. From my heart to yours, namaste.